I stood at the boundary of what used to be my grandmother's beloved peach orchard, my boots sinking into churned dirt as bulldozers rumbled, flattening century-old trees. A smug HOA president, Evelyn Carter, standing close by, arms crossed, smirking over the skeleton of a boutique hotel going up on my property. 3 months ago, I was halfway around the world on a veterinary mission in Peru. Now my inheritance of me sanctuary was unrecognizable. But Evelyn didn't realize I wasn't merely a small-town vet. I'd worked for years as a paralegal in one of Seattle's best property law firms, and my grandmother Clara had drilled one truth into me. Always read the fine print and planned for the worst. I brought out a creased folder from my bag, smiled thinly, and said, "You may want to look at this." Her smirk disappeared as she realized she'd marched right into a trap. My name is Ethan Caldwell, 35, a veterinarian with a small practice in the rolling hills just outside Spokane, Washington. Clara raised me after my parents were killed in a crash when I was 9. Her 20-acre farm with its old peach orchard and valley views stretching across the land was my sanctuary when she died. The grief was overwhelming, but her will, drawn up with her old friend and attorney Samuel Hayes, left me the land Clara had fought for developers for decades, her voice cutting as she'd tell me, "Land is power, Ethan." But only if you know the rules. I'd catch her late at night over deeds with a magnifying glass, her notes accurate as a surgeon's incisions. She was planning something, although I didn't notice it at the time. 2 months after the funeral, Dr. Lena Brooks, my old men, phoned with a dream deal, a 3-month assignment in Peru to rescue endangered species. It was an opportunity I couldn't resist, but departing the farm so soon was irresponsible. I required someone I could rely upon to keep an eye on it. That's when Rachel Monroe entered the scene, a 38-year-old investigative reporter from the local newspaper, cutting as a razor and staunchly protective of Clara's heritage over coffee. She consented to visit the farm every week, her eyes sparkling as she uttered, "This could be a case study for my series on urban sprawl engulfing farms." I didn't know how much tension was building around Clara's property. The extravagant Crestview Estates project, spearheaded by Evelyn, had purchased all the surrounding properties, and Clara's farm was the final hurdle to their grand expansion. When I departed, Samuel introduced me to Clara's arsenal of legal weapons surveys, water rights dating back to 1890, and a pending historic landmark designation application for the orchard's rare golden peach trees, some dating back to 1865. We granted Rachel limited power of attorney for emergencies, and I hid a security camera system throughout the property. Clara had predicted trouble, and I wasn't leaving anything to chance the day I flew out. Evelyn kept watch from her sleek SUV, dialing her phone with a predator's grin. "He's gone," she said. "Begin phase 1. 2 weeks into Peru's jungles with spotty satellite service, Rachel's text shook me. Surveyors sneaking close to the property line like they owned the place. I typed back, "Document everything." At home, Evelyn's scheme was in motion. Rachel's wildlife cameras caught Victor Clean, a crooked zoning commissioner, walking the line with a survey crew. Workers sprayed orange paint on trees, waving a permit for a public project that reeked of fraud, lacking signatures, incorrect parcel numbers. Rachel, with assistance from environmental attorney Sarah Ellis, verified the permits were a scam pushed through without approvals. Evelyn had bribed and bullied the Crestview HOA board, promising profits to some threatening others in the dark. Bulldozers smashed 40 feet of fence and raised a row of peach trees. Rachel encountered slashed tires and a threatening letter after printing an article questioning the permits. Desperate, she broke Clara's combination to her safe Clara's birthday, plus my law school graduation date, and discovered gold surveys establishing the actual boundaries, water rights, and a letter with the heading, "If Evelyn Carter Tries Again." By week 5, a hotel foundation marred the orchard. Evelyn's husband, Thomas, an architect, slipped Rachel plans for a Crestview boutique hotel distant from the community gazebo in the permits. "She's bankrupt from past failures," he whispered. "This is her last shot." A former councilman, Michael Reed, revealed Evelyn's playbook: blackmail, bribes, and invented scandals to destroy rivals from Peru. I urged Rachel to allow them to construct every tree they destroyed. Every forge permit tightened the noose. Evelyn's PR machine spun the hotel as an eco-retreat, while Rachel's exposés were censored by her editor and Evelyn Alley. I cut my trip short landing in Spokane after a brutal 28-hour ride. The view of the 70% finished hotel cement mixers, where wildflowers used to bloom, struck like a punch. Grief, anger, and cold determination roiled in me. At Clara's grave, I vowed to take down Evelyn's empire. Rachel's proof was overwhelming. 200 hours of video, 500 photos, fabricated permits, and tapes of Evelyn's HOA meetings. Samuel, now 70, but sharp as a tack, outlined our plan. With the help of retired Judge Robert Klein's expertise, Clara hadn't only defended the land, she'd set up a legal minefield. The historic designation given the orchard approved but hidden by Victor was one component. Sole water rights to the region's single spring granted in 1890 were another, without which water Evelyn's hotel was a dry shell. I played dumb walking the side as a curious neighbor. Evelyn, not knowing my identity, bragged about luxury suites and a farm-to-table restaurant, spilling investor names and timelines at a downtown diner. I pushed my ID over the table. Her face went blank. I know the actual limits. I told the phony permits and your father's past with Clara years ago. He'd been dismissed for falsifying contracts on this land of vendetta-driven Evelyn's fixation. She laughed. Possessions, 9/10 of the law. Your land is worthless. Now I leaned in. Check the other 10th. Evelyn, Clara signed the deed. Our 200-page lawsuit struck like a thunderbolt. Boundary infractions, permit fraud, eco-crimes, water rights, theft. Judge Margaret Hale, a 62-year-old stickler for law of property, called an emergency hearing. Evelyn's attorney, David Mercer, spun a story of my abandonment, but Samuel dismantled it, revealing Dr. Parcel numbers in the buried historic designation. Dr. Walter Gray, a peach tree analyst, testified to the golden peaches near extinction, producing pictures of cut trees from the 1860s. The courtroom gasped. Victor, sweating under oath, confessed to rigged permits for a promised beach house. Evelyn's facade cracked as HOA members testified to her embezzling $300,000 in maintenance funds. My hidden cameras sealed her fate, catching her ordering. Boundary markers removed. Judge Hale's ruling was merciless. A permanent injunction construction halted, and Evelyn and Victor referred for criminal charges outside. Evelyn offered a partner shared profits and eco-estimation. This is about your lies and Clara's legacy. A shot back, see you in court. Evelyn's PR blitz painted me as anti-progress. My clinic's windows were smashed. Clients fled and threats mounted. Thomas, shaking, leaked documents of Evelyn's Ponzi scheme, swindling HOA homeowners with bogus investment funds. She'd leveraged everything. Her desperation turning her cruel. Rachel and I drew closer. Her encouragement rivaling Clary's. At midnight, we encountered the final peach trees, chainsawed a grooved thread on one still wanting to battle. Friends require safety. The vandalism had backfired, inciting outrage. The hearing in full was a media spectacle for more than 3 days. We revealed Evelyn's fraud layer upon layer. Subcontractors confirmed working without. Allows the HOA displaced. Evelyn exposing her money games. Judge Hale's final decision directed restitution and pounded Evelyn's intentional offenses. Clara's diary discovered later read, "The land owns us, Ethan, save it, and justice will follow." I settled to protect deceived investors, turning the hotel into a peach research facility. New saplings sprouted, and my bond with Rachel grew stronger. Evelyn's empire collapsed. Her revenge against Clara, her downfall. Have you ever outwitted a bully who underestimated you? Share below.